In 2025, a full-blown war involving Iran is not just a regional crisis. It is a global economic shockwave, and if you are a business owner, it is coming straight for your bottom line. You might think that the fighting is far away, on the other side of the world, but you will feel it at your gas pump, in your product pricing, in your shipping costs, and even in your customer demand. War today is not confined to battlefields. It spills into every part of the global economy, and entrepreneurs who fail to understand this will be blindsided. Oil is the lifeblood of modern commerce. Whether you run an e-commerce store, a trucking company, a construction firm, or a digital agency, oil touches your business, directly or indirectly. And when war erupts in a region that holds one of the largest proven reserves of oil in the world, prices do not rise, they spike. Iran sits at the heart of the Persian Gulf, a critical energy corridor. Any conflict in this area disrupts production, threatens pipelines, and sends insurance premiums on oil tankers through the roof. Already, oil futures are reacting. Brent crude is climbing. WTI is volatile. The markets are nervous, and nervous markets become expensive markets. This is not just about energy companies or refineries. Every business that depends on transportation, whether it is moving goods, flying staff, or receiving international shipments, is about to face increased operating costs. Your profit margins may be tighter in the coming months than you have ever seen. Now consider shipping. The Strait of Hormuz is the narrow sea lane through which nearly 1/5 of all global oil trade passes. If war escalates, it could be blocked, mined, or controlled militarily. That would force global shipping companies to reroute, adding days or weeks to transit times and significantly increasing costs. If you rely on imported goods from Asia or the Middle East, your supply chain could suddenly become unpredictable, expensive, or completely unreliable. Even if you are not directly importing, the ripple effects will still hit you. Your suppliers may face delays, their costs will rise, and they will pass those costs on to you. That means higher inventory costs, longer lead times, and more capital locked up in slow-moving supply. It is a perfect storm for small businesses already operating on tight cash flow. And if you are selling physical products, your customers may start cutting back or seeking alternatives. The emotional impact of war should not be underestimated either. Global fear changes consumer behavior. When people see headlines filled with missiles, oil fires, and international threats, they pull back. Discretionary spending drops. People delay major purchases. Businesses slow hiring. Investors get cautious. The mood shifts from expansion to preservation, and that affects every sector, not just those directly involved in the conflict. This is what economists call demand shock. Even if your operations remain intact, your customers may start acting like they are in a recession, even if the economy has not officially entered one. For example, service businesses may see slower bookings. Consultants and coaches may see contracts paused. Luxury product sales may stall. If you are not prepared, this shift can feel sudden and paralyzing. But it does not have to be. Because while war creates chaos, it also reveals the entrepreneurs who know how to pivot, the ones who planned ahead, the ones who hedged their risks, diversified their supply chains, and understood that geopolitical awareness is now part of business survival. One of the smartest moves you can make right now is to audit your energy exposure. How much of your operating cost is tied to fuel or energy-intensive inputs? Are your delivery systems efficient? Can you reduce shipping frequency or consolidate orders? Should you begin sourcing from closer suppliers, even at slightly higher base prices, to reduce volatility? These are not questions for tomorrow. They are questions for now. Another critical area is inventory. If you sell physical goods, how long can you survive a shipping disruption? Do you have buffer stock? Are your lead times already stretched? If your supplier in Asia goes dark for a month, what happens to your sales? Do you have alternative vendors? Can you switch to digital or local products temporarily? The entrepreneurs who start thinking in scenarios rather than assumptions will navigate this better than the rest. Digital businesses are not immune either. Even if you are selling software, content, or courses, your audience may be feeling the pinch. If gas prices soar and inflation ticks up again, families will cut costs, and digital subscriptions are often the first to go. This means you need to be proactive about value delivery. Over-deliver. Stay in front of your customers. Prove that what you offer is essential, not optional. And if your pricing is rigid, consider adding more flexible payment options. There is also a hidden opportunity in all this chaos: global labor. If oil prices rise and Western economies contract, many highly skilled professionals in oil-dependent countries may be looking for remote work. You could access world-class talent at rates that would have been unthinkable a year ago. Outsourcing, if done strategically, can actually become easier and more affordable during geopolitical disruptions, if you know where to look and how to move quickly. Entrepreneurs must also watch currency movements. War impacts global currencies. If oil prices surge, the US dollar may strengthen initially as a safe haven. That makes imports cheaper, but it also hurts your export potential. If you sell internationally, especially to Europe or developing nations, a strong dollar can make your products more expensive overnight. Track your revenue sources. Know your currency exposure. Use platforms that allow multi-currency flexibility if you are selling online. Another overlooked factor is insurance. War increases risk, and insurance companies do not like risk. Expect higher premiums on shipping, business interruption, cybersecurity, and property coverage, especially for any business operating internationally. Review your policies. Make sure you are covered for the disruptions that are now likely rather than theoretical. War clauses, force majeure, and political risk insurance might suddenly become relevant to you in a way they never were before. So, what can you actually do right now? First, communicate with your customers. Let them know you are aware of global tensions and are taking steps to protect your supply chain and pricing. Transparency builds trust. Silence breeds fear. People do not expect perfection, but they appreciate preparation. Second, reforecast your cash flow. Assume higher operating costs, slightly lower revenue, and longer payment cycles. Build a buffer. Delay large expenses unless they are critical. If you are planning expansion, consider waiting a few months unless the opportunity is time-sensitive. Stability may be more valuable than speed right now. Third, expand your awareness. Follow global news not just for headlines, but for strategy. Subscribe to business briefings, economic updates, and geopolitical analysis. Listen to what oil analysts, shipping firms, and military advisors are saying. You are not just running a business anymore. You are navigating a global ecosystem shaped by forces far beyond your office walls. And finally, do not panic, but do not pretend nothing is happening. The smart entrepreneur does not react with fear. He or she responds with foresight. If you can adjust quickly, protect your margins, and serve your customers through the storm, you will not only survive, you may actually emerge stronger. Because here is the truth: every crisis creates a shakeout. Weak businesses collapse. Lazy operators get exposed. But resilient, prepared, adaptable entrepreneurs do more than survive. They capture market share. They find efficiencies. They build a reputation. And when the dust settles, they are standing taller while others are starting over. So ask yourself today, if the war in Iran escalates, are you ready? Are your systems built to absorb shock? Is your pricing flexible enough to adapt? Are your supply lines diverse enough to withstand disruption? Are you mentally prepared to lead through uncertainty? The answers you give today will define your outcomes tomorrow. And if you want to see what the smartest founders are doing to build geopolitical resilience into their business models, strategies that do not rely on luck or hope, then the next video will walk you through the complete action plan for building a business that can thrive even during war, recession, or global disruption. Stay sharp. The world just changed,